I think we've said how old I am. I just said an age there.
You would be 26 at this point because you aged down. Oh, no. Well,
cool.
Your body is 22, 23, but your age is 26.
23.
So.
Hey, this is Jordan. The following is a Dungeons & Dragons podcast. Names, characters, businesses, places, and incidents are either products of the Dungeon Master's imagination or used in a fictitious manner. Any resemblances to actual persons living or dead or any actual events are purely coincidental. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode, I guess. You might be wondering how we got here.
A new paranormal police force was started, PETA. I am Major General Milo. We would like to talk to you about a potential job offer with the Paranormal Investigation and Defense Agency.
This isn't SWAT. You can't go on your own anymore.
Your second lieutenant, which you met in the earlier one, his name is Chris Greaves. Then you have your Sergeant Thomas Curtis. Then you have Alice Wynn. She's your first private. Dan Spitfire Perez. And then you have Gus. He's your specialist and your heavy artillery. PETA doesn't work for us. And she kind of motions to the houseless population in front of you. You open the door, and sitting on the ground is a simple letter.
Amber, this is kind of weird.
I am sorry I could not deliver this message to you face to face. A strong danger presides over your life. Currently, a group of cultists are beginning to create something very, very dangerous. I would advise that you and your people take care of it post-haste. Signed, Lacuna.
Have you heard anything about a Church of Zaitor?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about a religion, but there was this order that worshipped. They're sort of like an Outlander worshipping group. Fire on West 67th Street. Is that what I know if that's Cash's business? Powerful wizard, Outlander magic, takes the fucking bus.
You see one work order for, you see about 3 that happened recently, like within the past week. One of them is for some sort of drug. You would think maybe a heroin or a methamphetamine. You're not exactly sure. And then you see 2 more. Both of them are kind of listed under trafficking. You're not sure if it's people or items. We have been given a tip by an anonymous source that there has been some cultist activity in the Chicago area. Our mission is to prevent whatever they are trying to do. It seems like they are trying to consolidate some form of magical power. It will be a simple search and destroy mission if it comes to that, but our goal is to unravel this force before it can become fully consolidated.
I kind of look around, I'm like, fine, I guess you fit. It was the Elder Wand.
Are you kidding me?
This is a little above my pay grade right now, considering I'm not licensed.
Let's see if we can get your pay grade bumped up then.
Julie, I'm not working for PETA.
Okay then. I guess that's it. I stand up.
Oh, come on, Julie.
There's nothing else for me to say.
Have you heard from Cash lately?
As you close the door and Julie walks out, you hear Jordan go, "So, we got another mission or something?"
Yeah. I fill him in on everything. I don't want to go through it all.
He says, the Church of Zaitur. That's, they're a nasty bunch. The Order, rather. They,
Yeah, I don't quite know how they're connected to all this. Julie asked me about it. I guess I shoot Julie a text. I forgot to ask. Damn it.
You cannot text.
Anyway.
There's no world in which you could send a text message.
All right. I'll call Julie later, I guess. Hopefully it's not important. Look, Julie is clearly investigating them. They might have something to do with this.
But the Elder One
if they
is...
worship Outlanders, it wouldn't surprise me if they...
So what are we going to do? Like
a nasty one, yeah.
A stakeout, or what are you thinking? Follow the money, follow the trail.
I'll get the dominoes.
All right, are you going that night? Time. Well, actually, let's do this. Go ahead and just roll a general investigation check for me. This happens over the course of this next week. And I'll say with advantage because Jordan is helping you.
Ooh. Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20. Take +2 mind. As you begin following the trails of these different houses, you being in the business as small as you were, know that you never use the same outpost twice. So you begin finding people that have connections to these different trading rings. And you do eventually gain the information that Randy Bones, brother of Bradley Bones, has taken over the northern area of America. So you are kind of in his territory right now. They had a falling out due to the family's troubles. But what eventually you discover is that another trade is happening relatively soon, depending on what...
I'm sorry, hang on. I just had to digest that for a second. This man's name is Randy Bones.
Seems like it.
If that's not a porn name, if you didn't get that from porn, then I don't know where you would have gotten
Randy, make a history check, just in general. Because I think it's very funny what his full name is.
Randy Bones. 17.
You know, Randy Bones isn't necessarily what you call him.
Reynolds Bones.
Randy Dandy, quote unquote, Bones. His what he normally goes as is Dandy. You find another location of one of these trades. What are you doing? This happens over the course of this next week.
Well, I've bought a car at this point.
For sure.
We're doing the detective stakeout work. It's like an old, 1980s, Camaro. It's really shitty. It's green. Has cloth interior. The radio barely works.
The radio does not work. Not while you're in the car. Oh, shit. This is probably one of the most unscrupulous cars I've ever seen.
Hang on,
Jordan uses magic to cloak the car because otherwise you would definitely be very. I mean, a 1980 Chevrolet Camaro.
Hang on, I'm maybe not a 1980. Let me try and find it because there's a specific year. It's my grandpa's car.
Okay,
from when I was a kid.
I mean, it's a nice car.
Find the specific year. 1994.
1994. Okay.
And it doesn't have the big hood thing. It looks like the very first picture. Hang on. I'm sending you an image in chat.
This is a less unscrupulous car. More of a, just a general car. Okay. Yeah. You have this stakeout here. Jordan still does some cloaking stuff to make it look a little bit less detectable.
I mean, it's a dark green, and it's old and not particularly nice. It has a soft top. It has a T-top.
Okay, cool.
So that's cool.
What are you planning on doing for the stakeout? Are you just planning on... You've done a couple at this point.
Okay.
You have plenty of domino boxes in the backseat of the car.
Yeah, we've got some Ruffles. We've got Slurpees.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the snacks. That's what I tell Jordan. That's the point of a stakeout. It's all about the snacks. Do I know... Where are we?
Let me pull up my map of Chicago really quick. You are in... Actually, that kind of makes sense. You're in Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
It's definitely on the outskirts of actual Chicago, like far on the outskirts.
Yeah, we're parked across the street on a corner. We've paid the meter.
There's no meter.
You're
not in Chicago.
Parked in a parking lot. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's outside of Chicago. Then we're in a parking lot or whatever. We're in a Walmart parking lot or some shit.
Okay.
And watching a supposed drop point, if that makes sense.
Okay. You are
Across the street
parked
in a park
next to this remodeling center, this like business that is almost, this one is like almost clearly a front for something, but you park kind of down the street from it and you watch as cars begin traveling up. And what are you doing? You see cars passing you, seemingly not taking in not noticing you or assuming that you are part of.
It's a stakeout, my dude. We're just chilling.
Okay, you're just watching what happens.
We're hanging out. We're watching it.
Okay, you see essentially. You see 6 cars.
You see John Wick 2?
I have not actually. You see 6 cars pull up to this location. You are parked a ways.
No, that was me talking to Jordan.
Oh. Yeah, it was on the Netflix or whatever the fuck. 6 cars pull up to this location. See a group of men and women step out. Make a perception check for me. 4. You just see a group of them walk into this building.
Dice is giving up on me.
You see them all walk into the building. They are in the building for an hour. Goes on a little bit longer. What are you doing?
After about 20 minutes, I put the cloak up and I say, "Hop in the driver's seat. I'm going to get a closer look. We might need to make a hasty exit."
Jordan scoots over, kind of used to this at this point.
Yeah, and I hop out of the
All right.
of the car and I throw my cloak up.
Okay.
And I'm going to go up to the door first, I think. I mean, see, I think I've learned my lesson about using polymorph to turn myself into a mouse. Is there like a window on the door, or is it a windowless door? Are there windows?
There is a couple of windows.
Okay. I'm gonna look through a window first.
Okay, they are blacked out.
Cool. All right. So what I'm gonna do instead is do a thing. How many doors are there? Are there other doors, or is it just this one?
There is a building to your left, and then on this building specifically, there's one door on the front. I mean, you could try sneaking around back, but go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. 16.
16.
The cloak doesn't give me
no, it just hides your face.
Advantages, right?
You begin slinking around the backside of this building. There is a guard stationed on the backside of the building, but there is another door.
All right, and there's a guard there.
Yes.
I'm gonna hit him with Phantasmal Force.
Okay, what are you Phantasmal Forcing him?
I'm gonna Phantasmal Force some kids that are throwing water balloons at him.
Roll a d10 first for me, and then we will resolve that.
3.
3. Okay, you're fine.
And then they run away.
Okay. You hear him shout out, "Hey, what the hell? Get out of here! Scram!" And as the kids run away,
"Screw you, old man." More water balloons. Then they turn and run.
You see him kind of motion with...
He thinks he's dripping wet.
Okay. He goes, "What the God damn it." You see him kind of pull at his collar and mutter something. You don't have observant feet, so you can't read lips, but he mutters something into his like jacket, and that's all that happens.
Damn it, he's professional.
Oh yeah.
Damn it, I thought he would chase those kids. Okay, that's all right. That's okay. I'll just kill him. I'm kidding. How is he stationed? Like literally right outside the door,
as if he is guarding it.
Okay, then I'm going to polymorph myself into an owl.
Okay.
And then I'm going to wait for the door to open and try and fly in when the door opens and people leave. Oh, I guess they would see me.
They would definitely see you. Go ahead and roll a d10 for me first for your polymorphing into an owl.
5.
5, you're fine. All right, you are polymorphed into an owl.
Okay.
How long are you waiting as an owl?
I'm going to wait 10 minutes, doing slow loops around the building.
Okay,
Searching for an entrance. Is there anything on the roof? Is there anything on the roof?
Nope, just a standard suburban roof.
Rooftop entrances.
Go ahead and make
Okay.
a stealth check as the owl.
I don't know what owls have.
It's just plus
Let's
1,
look.
I believe. But you might have advantage. Let me see. Oh, no, sorry, plus 3.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll.
Unnatural 20.
Okay. Yes, you are able to scout this area as an owl perfectly fine. Doesn't seem to have anything happen.
I really want to try and stealth my way, fly into the building as they leave. Is the thing.
Okay.
I feel like if I drop down from right above the door, as the last person leaves,
Okay.
I think I could get away with it.
Okay. 40 minutes pass.
You know what I mean? Everybody's leaving, and they close the door behind them.
Yes,
But they're
yeah.
not looking, and I
40 minutes pass. Still nothing happens. And then you hear a bit of a sound come from the guard. You don't have keen hearing, but you have keen sight. Oh, keen hearing or sight. So yes, you would be able to hear.
I do have keen hearing.
You can hear from the guards thing walking out. Essentially, that's what the code word is, walking out. And you see the guard, you see him kind of get ready with the gun on his side, and you see groups of people, 2 by 2, now beginning to walk out of the building.
What do they look like?
You see,
What kind of people?
they all appear to be human. The first set, you see 2 meatheads, essentially. They're both wearing different sets of clothing, so you assume that they're not working together. You think that the way this trade is going, people exiting are happening 2 by 2 to make sure that nobody double crosses each other. It's almost a standard practice for these things. So you see 2 meatheads kind of walk and then go to a car and kind of start their cars, and then the next 2 more meatheads, and then you see an older, mid to late 60s man and this tall, thin, slender woman walk out. And then you see a younger 40s-year-old and another kind of older man also walk out. And then you see a couple more meatheads.
Do I recognize anybody?
Make an history check.
History?
Yeah, make a history check with -4.
8.
Your owl brain is more focused on what's happening, not necessarily processing the information that's happening.
Processing
Yeah.
information, yeah. All right.
Eventually more walk out, 2 more meatheads walk out, and the guard then begins to close the door. Are you trying to sneak in at this point?
I am, yes.
Okay, make a stealth check with +3.
New stealth roll?
Yes,
Yeah.
please. As you...
I assume staying hidden during all of the people leaving
Yes.
in that hour was my previous roll.
Yes.
Oh, it was almost a 5, but instead, it's a 21.
21. As the second set of meatheads open the door, and it takes a moment for them, one of them is dragging something heavy. You see, you kind of swoop in, and where do you go in this house? It's fairly well lit on the inside. You see drapes.
It's a house.
It's a house. It appears to be some kind of house, although it has a business center in it. You think it's maybe one of those work out of your home areas.
High ceilings?
Mid ceilings.
Perch in the rafters? Or if it's a normal house?
It's kind of a normal house.
Yes, I'm going to silently glide through the home looking for things of flapping, looking for things of
Okay, there's still
particular,
you hear that there's still people in this home,
interesting.
in this place. So you can't just go around willy-nilly.
Okay.
As an owl.
Okay.
You need to probably hide somewhere.
Shit. Okay.
There's an office space that has the door slightly ajar.
Yeah, I'll go in there. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a slight office space.
I'll fly in there and I'm going to un-owl myself.
Okay, you are unpolymorphing yourself. Good to know. And you slowly close the door behind you, leaving a little bit of a crack. You see 2 more people walk in. or rather walk out, and they're both carrying each this heavy locked crate of some kind. Think for your sake, like a lens crate, like we have the cine lenses in, something like that.
Yeah. If this was a movie, it would be that.
Probably.
Because that's the best. All right. They're carrying they're carrying boxes. Are they leaving with the boxes?
Yes.
Okay. Can I search around the office? Is there anything in the office worth looking for?
Yeah.
Worth finding?
Make an investigation check for me.
Well, that's a natural 1. So
I mean, you find papers. It's like like business papers, like remodeling. They seem above the board.
Shady.
You're not seeing anything weird.
All right. I want to peek an eye out and look at the people leaving with those crates.
Okay.
Are any of the crates, are any of them like sort of isolated? Any of the people walking out with the bins, or can I wait for like the last person in the house with one of those?
You see
boxes, or are they
a middle-aged Asian woman take a step up, walk out. She is the only one that seems to be alone, but she is also like the two meatheads leave away with the crate, and then it's just her, and she is essentially guiding out these people.
Okay, so she's waiting for the last person with the last crate to leave.
It seems so.
With the last,
You kind of get the sense that this is the person who is the actual like front person
organizing
for this.
The whole thing.
No, like the front person for this thing, like the person who will sleep here at the end of the night.
The person the auctioneer. Can I take my phone doesn't work. I need to find a better way to take pictures.
There's a spell.
I need to get a film camera. That's what I need.
Or that.
Well, you didn't tell me that.
Oh, it's not my spell. It's a D&D spell.
There's a D&D.
It might be a wizard spell.
There's a D&D spell. Yeah, I don't think it's a sorcerer spell.
What are you doing? She is essentially escorting out the last.
I'm thinking.
Happening in bullet time.
Because I'm getting the picture that if I let them all leave here and I don't get anything out of this, then I'm just going to be in this house and there's nothing else here. I'm going to phantasmal force one of I'm going to do 2 things. The first thing I'm going to do is phantasmal force one of the guys carrying the crate, and I'm going to have him hear someone say, like out of his comm link, be like, "Hey, put that one in the back of the green Camaro," and then I'm going to Stone of Far Speech whisper to Jordan, "Keep your head down. If someone comes to put something in the trunk, let him do it."
Okay. Roll a d10 first for me. For this spell. Is it a 1? Roll. It's a 1, baby, ladies and gentlemen. Roll 2d10 for me. Listen, this could be fine. That's the thing. A lot of these are just fine.
Yeah, it could be one of the ones where it's like in the next minute, if you die, you'll be reincarnated.
But it could also be, 85?
Lightning.
No. 85, you cast mirror image. Okay, that might be interesting when it comes to it. We'll see.
Yeah. But now there's 3 of me.
There are 3 of you in the office right now. And you're kind of shifting and churning.
I don't know how many it creates.
It does create 3 of them.
I look down. I'm like, fuck.
Okay. Make a persuasion check for me. For your spells, particular. Because there would be a bit of confusion with this person putting it in the green Camaro. I'm assuming you tell Jordan to pull up kind of with the other cars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I add a D4 to that? Can I use my wild magic to add a D4?
I think we found out that you can't do it for your own checks. When another creature you see makes an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw.
Yeah, it's another creature.
Yep.
Yeah, never mind. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you're right. 15.
15?
I was going to try and just bump it a little bit. Yeah, it was a 6.
Right,
plus 9.
Okay. This guy, you hear out of this guy walks out. Where are you going to be at this point? Because this guy is walking out. You do the phantasmal force on him. He begins walking out. What are you doing in this meantime before he would take it to the Camaro? Because essentially these are the last set of people.
I'm waiting for everybody to leave. I tell Jordan, like, just drive off after you get the thing. Don't worry about me.
Okay. You
Take
get
it
back
take it back
all right.
to Michael's.
I got it. Okay. You wait for everybody to leave. You see the guard that was guarding the door slip this woman this middle-aged Asian woman a envelope of some kind, and she pockets it.
Yep.
And begins walking back into the house, and
Okay.
like where you are, not into the office necessarily, but this is
Not into the office specifically, but into the house.
that's yes. And outside,
assuming she lives here.
outside, you hear a commotion happening. He says, "You hear hey, no, wrong car. This one over here." Do you do anything?
I mean, I could just keep using Phantasmal Force. Like,
Yeah, how long does Phantasmal Force last?
An hour.
It does? No, it lasts a minute.
Phantasmal Force lasts
A minute.
A minute, yeah.
So no, you cannot use it again. This would definitely have happened over the course of a minute. George, you hear back.
Well, that's the thing. I did it as a short effect. No. Here, listen. I did it as a short effect, as like, hey, put it in the back of the green Camaro, and then I could release it and then do it again.
You have to see this person, so you can't do it again.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. You're very right.
And your
Okay,
mirror image has dissipated at this point.
All right. I'm going to try and slip out of the house, maybe around like the front door. Or
do you wait for all the cars, like to hear all the cars drive off? You hear on your Sona Far Speech Jordan go, they didn't buy it. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, I say, just drive off. Don't worry about it. It's a bust. I'm gonna poke around a little bit more.
Okay.
Pull back around. Just go pull around like you're leaving, and then pull back around in like half an hour.
Copy. Okay. What are you doing? You hear the cars drive off. You assume Jordan has driven off. What are you doing in this moment?
I'm gonna start poking around the house.
Okay, make a stealth check for me.
Yes, I know there's a lady in the house. It's very stressful. 17.
17. Okay. You think you're stealthing around the house. What are you looking for?
Anything of interest.
Okay.
You know? Safes. Closets full of magic items. Anything that might point me somewhere else. To a more like concrete location, because clearly this was just a meeting place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me, and this will resolve the rest of this part.
Ooh. 18.
18. Okay. Good. You begin poking around. You kind of look around this office for a little bit more. You don't really find anything. You begin like looking around. The front half of this house is essentially like a business space, and then the back half is like an actual house. You begin poking around. You open this one door, and it leads to a basement, which you saw like people kind of coming from this area. So you kind of slink down, and you see like a plastic tables and chairs kind of set up around in like a almost meeting space with this kind of low hanging fluorescent light bulb, giving a little bit of soft illuminance to this space. You begin looking around, and you see like drawn maps of the Chicago area, and you see like circled areas, and you see different like it's essentially like almost like a business meeting, but like breaking down the Chicago area and like talking about resources and money. And you see like a whiteboard, somebody wrote on the side of it like places of interest and persons of interest and that kind of deal. And make a perception check for me.
Who are the persons of interest? Oh, perception check. Okay. 19. Hell yeah. New dice. Let's go.
Okay.
I made the right decision switching dice.
You look at the board. The persons of interest are there's a person called Beanie. There is another name on there called Scalp. There's another person on there called Beanie, Scalp, and Futz are the three like persons of interest.
Cool. Are there locations for Beanie, Scout, and Futz?
You can't put that together. You would have to have rolled really high on that investigation check to put all that together.
Got it.
You can tell that this is some sort of like person trade deal is what I will give you. somebody has interest in something, somebody has interest in something else. The persons of interest were laid out, and there's some kind of swap happening. With that 19 perception check, you hear squeaks coming from up the stairs.
Like someone's coming downstairs.
Like someone's coming down the stairs.
Mouse time.
Okay. Roll a d10 for me. 7. You're fine. You turn into a mouse, kind of scurry around the corner. You see that woman come down the stairs.
I'm not gonna leave yet. I'm gonna scurry into like a dark. It's a basement.
Yeah.
Is it like an unfinished basement?
More or less.
Yeah.
There's
so,
like
I'm gonna
finished
scurry
aspects,
like into the darkness / wall.
Okay.
/ a classic Boston.
This is Chicago.
Mouse hole.
Chicago
That I
suburbs.
assume is down there. Chicago. I know. I don't live in Chicago though.
Fair. She comes down. She has a gun drawn, and she's like looking around the area. And you see her beginning to tear down some of these things. You see her beginning to wipe, essentially clearing this place of evidence. What are you doing?
I want to see what she finds interesting. Like, is there something that she's doing a lot to get rid of that I didn't notice? I mean, I'm also a mouse, so...
Insight check for me. Just roll a straight d20.
15.
15? Your mouse brain picks up that she is, like, tearing down these maps and crumpling them up. And, like essentially, you see her, like, tearing up some of the maps. Whatever they were talking about in this meeting, the maps had something important to do with it.
Got it. Wish I had a camera. All right, I'm going to get out.
Okay, roll one more stealth check for me as a mouse.
It's a 5. Hang on. Now, I feel like now might be a time to use luck. Am I allowed to use luck over the year?
You can. You also have your wild magic reroll that you can use.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that instead. It's a 12.
Okay. Wasn't a high
Let me roll
DC.
2d10.
You are a mouse.
Oh, wait, no, not yet.
When you cast your next spell, you will be rolling 2d10. Don't worry about it.
Right.
You slink out unnoticed, kind of slither under the door. You come outside. Eventually, Jordan, you see Jordan's car kind of pull back around, and you hop in.
Let me peel out. Damn it. I don't think I got much there. Got a couple names, though.
Hello.
What's up? All right. So, what are you doing over this next week?
Well, first, when I get back, I want to ask Amber what happened with Sarah.
Oh, okay. Make a persuasion check for me. Just to see how much she's going to
Come
tell you.
on.
It's not necessarily super in depth, but
16.
16. Yeah, she goes, she was just asking. The United Nations gave me another deal. Was a bit of a better deal, but I still kind of don't want to. I don't know, I'm enjoying my time just relaxing. I saw a movie. It was wild. Did you know they didn't redo that Sonic? It's still terrible, but it was so great. And also, what's his name? Jim Carrey was honestly not that bad in it. It was just weird having that weird Sonic guy. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. I went off on a weird tangent there.
With your newfound freedom, you watched the Sonic movie?
It's something I never could have done beforehand. Also, I liked Sonic as a kid, so...
Sure. Also,
Anyway.
what was that about not knowing T1NK?
What do you mean, T1NK? Roll a D20 for me. Roll a D6 for me.
Ah. That's scary, O'Neill.
D6s are just how I
4.
do general. 4? She goes,
Yeah.
oh, do you mean like in the spirit realm? There was like that robot you were in? She begins
not
blushing
me,
a little bit.
But
Yeah, you
yes,
was in
there
your
was
group.
in the it's a Doofus's group. I don't know.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that, but I don't remember
One of the
what
founders of
importance
SWAT.
had. No, I don't think so.
Tink founded. Yeah. Tink was one of the founders of SWAT.
I don't. From what I personally know
Or
about the
was
society.
involved in the beginning. Tink was involved in the beginning.
Interesting. I listen, it's your spirit realm story. I'm sure you have more insights than I do. From what I know, it was just the half orc, the tiefling, the human, and the halfling, and the elf that established the society.
What do you know about the human?
Not 100%. I just know that she was the only survivor from the calamity that happened.
Yeah, that was a lot.
If you want to talk about it, I am all ears.
I just said it.
Fair. I mean, it's interesting that you've had the founder of SWAT as your spirit avatar. That's kind of, Julie, that's kind of crazy. Means you're
You had one of the original members too.
I had an ancestor of mine. You had someone who is a person of legend.
I don't know about that.
She goes, how was work?
Work was fine. Harry Potter's real, apparently.
It's probably an outlandish thing. Yeah. Every story that's gotten big here on Gaia is part of the Outlands, Julie. You have to understand that. Probably.
Are the Harry Potter movies some of the ones you weren't able to see as chairperson?
Barry Hodder, please. Barry Hodder was a...
Barry Hodder, I apologize.
Barry Hodder. Yeah, there's a couple of... I got to see the second one with the snake. That was the only one I got to see.
Okay, yeah, that's not the one that matters. There's an unbeatable wand.
Interesting. I mean, nothing's unbeatable, Julie. Everything's beatable. It's just
in a duel, it's unbeatable.
Huh. Sounds bad.
It was taken from that room of trinkets at SWAT.
Shit. It must be one of the... That makes a little bit more sense why Sarah was coming to me then. Makes a little bit more sense if someone was going to... I don't know. Use that wand.
You weren't involved in those things, though.
No, but if this is an quote-unquote unbeatable wand, they would want to use their quote-unquote unbeatable weapon against it. Me.
Julie sits down. I'm sorry, what was that? You're unbeatable?
Not unbeatable. I'm just the most powerful evoker. The most powerful one with the spells that do the damage of anyone on this planet, apparently.
And quite modest as well.
It's a curse more than a blessing.
How is it a curse?
I never had a life. My mother was taken from me when I was 16, and I have been forced to be on the council ever since. It's not something that I enjoy. Also, she motions to her general self, uncontrollable fire powers.
You haven't set any fires lately, have you?
Not ones that I haven't fixed. The good thing about having this at such a young age, I know how to put out a fire as quickly as I start it.
So I spoke to Wes today.
Oh, how is
Twice, actually. Well, he ruined his lungs, I guess, with smoke inhalation.
She winces.
Sounds like a heavy smoker now.
Well, I mean, I don't know what we could do for him necessarily, but if he wants to go, I don't know, get it checked out, I could give him a couple recommendations. Scarlett's busy with the big medical conference.
I don't think he likes Scarlett.
Either way. I hope he's doing well.
I thought she was going to say no one likes Scarlett.
It's not true. Everybody loves Scarlett. She goes, well, I wish him the best. I hope he gets himself... I'll keep my channels open.
How could we get him a magic license?
He's probably not getting any offerings from the UN, so he would probably need to take the hunter's exam.
Why couldn't he get it through the UN?
You have to be a head of a department, usually, to get that kind of referential treatment. Sarah, me.
Can't you, hire him as one of your staff or something?
One, I haven't taken the job from the United Nations, and I don't really plan on it unless they absolutely need me, which right now it doesn't seem like they do. Second of all, he still would have to get registered with the Hunters Bureau to get a license before he could come work with me. That's the problem with not having a society and having it be out in the open. All this magic stuff is now behind a shit ton of red tape. And I mean, with a society, you were just in it and then you could do it. And we had our rules and our regulations, but there was no applications. There was no committees. There was no boards. There was just doing what was right. And now it's behind all this red, and the room begins to start getting a little bit warmer. There's all this red tape, and I just...
Whoa.
Sorry.
No, but see, Wes is the same way. Sometimes he can't control things like that. So how did you pass the exam?
I am the most powerful evocator on the planet. I didn't need to take an exam.
So then why does he?
He is not.
He's plenty powerful.
I am an ex-chair from the society. The society, quote unquote, has moved to the United Nations at this point.
It just feels like we've left him out to dry.
He has options. He's not completely left out to dry, but there's a lot of people from the society who are trying to find new ways to live. It's not just him. I wish there was something I could do. But as soon as the world found out that magic is real, my hands were tied directly behind my back. I can do what I do here, but outside of this, there's nothing I'm really allowed to do until I am ordered to.
Did you ever meet the previous chair of conjuration?
Roll a d6 for me.
That's a 6.
6? Good. It could have been very bad.
Yeah.
She goes...
Uh-oh. She would have had a psychic seizure, I swear to God, O'Neill.
She, pinches the bridge of her nose. She says, no, they were before my time. I heard they died in, a terrible magical accident of some kind.
They didn't.
She gives you a confused look. Is this one of those T1NK things? You might have a little bit more insight into me than me.
See, it's a weird position because this is Wes's information to share, but I also feel like he's in danger and doesn't realize it, so I don't know what to do.
Huh. In my personal respects, I mean, I'm a little bit curious as to what you're talking about, but if it is Wes's information to share, I can ask Wes at some point. Unless it's super pertinent.
Do you know why Michael was so protective over Wes?
Wes was, from what I understand, one of his students. He was in the orphanage for a small time. Mind you, you, Wes, and Cash are the only ones, and, well, Jack probably, are the only ones who actually know that the Reaper was Wes's mother. She goes, listen, Julie, it's late. I know you have work in the morning. When do you do your next night patrol's coming up, right? I'll make you some.
I don't know, but
I'll cook lunch or something for you. You know, you're out here doing stuff, and I'll.
I think you need to meet with Wes, and he needs to lay his cards out on the table because you're both not with any organizations right now.
That could be interesting. I'll see. I'll get his take on it at the very least.
He's at Michael's old place with Jordan.
Huh. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go have a brief mental breakdown if you'll excuse me. I'll just be 5 minutes. And I leave and I go to the bathroom and close the door.
You hear a knock on the bathroom door. She says, if you need to talk about something, let me know, okay?
I turn on the shower so I can't hear her talk.
You hear a sigh as you turn on the shower and you have your breakdown.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Now we're getting to the next
The
week.
breakdown consists of what is my life? How did this happen? Why am I here? What is how? Who is where?
Go ahead. What are you doing over this next week? As part of this investigation into the Church of Zytor.
I am looking into what Wes told me that PETA did or did not do. Like he said that they were not helping people. I'm looking into that.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check. Or are you looking through the database, or are you just like asking around? If you're asking people, that will have certain
Asking
consequences.
around.
If you're looking at a database, that will have certain consequences. So they will have different.
I'm just asking, like, have you heard about this case?
Okay, yeah.
Whoa. That is a 9.
A 9. You begin asking around this case. From the details that Wes give you, there's like a meat monster attack. One of those things that
Ew.
happened. You remember that there was a fatality actually in that case. It wasn't part of your division. It wasn't part of your assignments by any means, but you do kind of hear around, like look around and find out about it. That's all you really find out, is that there was a fatality in that case specifically from one of the PETA officers.
I also want to look into what hoops I'd have to jump through to get Wes on as a contractor. Like, what could I do to help him?
Make a persuasion check.
That is a 12. No, sorry. That's a 10.
A 10?
I can't read.
You
Yeah, I'm sorry.
find out, this is pretty simple. You find out he has to go through the regular channels. You actually do end up working with a couple of hunters who are more recently licensed. You're in like mid-March now, so licenses have been kind of flooding out. And you're getting more and more independent contractors. And so you like talk with them and like figure out, yeah, you just need a license.
Can I look into like what the rules are for people who have like magic abilities they can't control nowadays?
Sure. Just from the Paranormal Normification Act, there are 3 classifications for magic, right? There is magic that is essentially being used for negative things. There is magic that is regulated, controlled, and there's just kind of magic that is out there due to this combination of worlds. The magic that is out there is to be regulated by hunters and by PETA, right? So the United Nations set a standard
So what
for
happens
licensed magic.
to a person?
They are either put in, like, if they are unintelligent enough to be able to control their magic, and they're
What if it's a human? What if it's a human with wild magic?
make a investigation check. Actually, just roll a d20 for me. Just roll a d20. Just roll a d20.
Okay. Come on. 12.
12. As far as you know, Wes is the only human that has this
Great.
chaotic, uncontrollable magic. It's not something that normally comes, and I mean, Amber to an extent, but even Amber has enough control to control it. Wes is the only
But
person
I
that-
also have.
uncontrollable magic?
I do.
Yes and no.
Called my glowing, beautiful eyes.
Yes and no. To the extent that you're talking about, I mean, even Wes has control over his magic. If he doesn't use his magic, which he's not supposed to, he won't go out of control. Which he shouldn't be, by the law, he shouldn't be using his magic. So that would solve that. For your eyes specifically, you're a registered PETA officer. Technically, you are able to use it as you use it.
But let's say I wasn't. Let's say I wasn't a registered PETA officer.
You rolled what you rolled. I can't tell you much more.
Do we have a legal team?
What do you mean?
We've got to have lawyers.
Yes and no. Are you specifically asking like what happens when a Phaetonian breaks a law or something?
No, I'm asking when a Phaetonian who has like innate magic abilities uses them
Without being
like,
licensed?
unwittingly. Yes.
That's the problem. There's not
Or
really
human.
an unwittingly thought to that. There's small instances where like a child like will use magic because their magical abilities are coming out, and that is handled like through, you know, PETA enforcement and like regulation, and like they are sent to like a training place or something like that. But those are handled on a case-by-case basis. There's not really a precedent for I have so much magical ability that I can't control it. It's either don't use your magic or face the consequences. It's a binary system. Or be registered and you can't use your magic. There's not really area for a gray middle ground. Mind you, it's been 3 months since the worlds collided.
Yeah.
There hasn't been enough legal precedent to set.
I want to speak to the legal team and get them drafting. I want to lobby my congressperson.
You're doing a lot. Are you doing anything specifically about the information that is pertinent to this investigation? If you're not, that's fine. But you're doing a lot right now, and you're not
done here.
If you're just doing your job as normal, there will be consequences for that.
Yeah, I'm just doing my job.
You're just doing your job as normal? Okay.
Oh my God.
I'll say, just make a persuasion check. Just roll a persuasion check for me.
8.
All right. You lobby your congressperson. They don't seem very responsive.
No, God.
That's just how that ends.
Okay.
Okay.
That's like real life.
You just do your job as normal. You don't really look into any of these other things that could be important to your investigation. A week goes by. Everything seems normal. You find there hasn't really been any leads on the investigation that you're going for. There is one instance where a person, this happens a lot in Chicago. This comes down from the police department, but it's a little bit strange. An elven person was blindfolded and executed somewhere in the streets of Chicago, and their body was found. Seems like some kind of mob violence, but this is a little bit abnormal just because it's a Phaetonian person. That's the only lead that you get.
I want to send my team out there.
Doing? Oh, investigating the specific person?
Figure out what happened. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and bring Tyler in. So, what are you doing?
Well, gosh. I'm gonna pound the pavement and do some investigating on the 3 names, which are Beanie, Scalp, Futz.
Okay.
I wrote them down.
How are you doing this? Are you just openly asking about these people?
I don't know if I'm openly asking about these.
Then how are you doing it?
Like a big stupid moron. I'm going to my connections, around the city.
Your connections have waned.
How do you know these people?
As we have established.
I know, but I've made new connections.
Okay. You're asking the magical circles.
I'm asking
the kind of underground magicals, the alt magical circles.
Yes.
You spend about another 4 or 5 days asking around, kind of trying to collect information. And then one day you just get a call back. And it's from one of those circles that you eventually found out Willa was a part of, the woman who was in charge of this homeless shelter. It's this small collection of half practitioners, people who have this kind of magical ability, but don't necessarily aren't like powerful enough to get the hunter's license exam or want to by any means. They just want to live their normal lives, but have realized that through this combination of worlds that magic is real and it's actually something they have. You get a call from one of the members and they inform you that this person named Futz has been executed, mob style.
Oh, shit. Okay. That's bad news. That means that the other 2 are probably also shit. Okay. See, the problem, O'Neill, is I'm not a private detective and I'm not writing the story. So I don't know what to do.
I mean, you could go to where the body was found. That's usually what you would do.
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay. Julie, your troop is sent out to investigate this body that has been executed, and you arrive at the scene. You begin doing your standard investigation. There's the police have already kind of like done the outlines and looked at, like, dusted for prints and all that. It's your job to kind of come in and do the magical aspect of it. And since it's a Phaetonian creature, your troop specifically was called in. And as you pull up to the scene, you also see Wes is there.
Okay.
Your troop pops out. You pull up in like 3 different cars. You see Thomas Curtis and Alice Wynn get to work on like surveying the area. You see that they have some magical capabilities and they begin scanning the area for magic and the sort. And Wes, what are you doing while you're there looking at this area?
Would I be allowed near it?
No
That's
way. You're not allowed near it. The street is blocked off, but as you know, you're like walking around.
So they're like pulling up to I'm like walking by the around the police barrier.
Exactly.
And when they pull up to go through.
Exactly.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, I'm just trying to get a look from a distance. I'm not trying to like poke the bear, so to speak.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over to Wes.
Okay. Yeah, Jesse, you see as you guys pull up, you see Wes off to the side kind of doing a laps around this barricaded area, and you part away from your team as Alice and Thomas begin working and searching. You peel off away to Wes.
Hey.
Oh, hey Julie. I was actually just gonna call you to see if you knew something about this. I did some more poking around. I got a couple names, and apparently this guy was whoever got offed here was one of the names. I fill her in on the whole ring and what I found and stuff like that.
Well, she doesn't know, Tyler.
Yeah, I guess I should tell you. She doesn't know. Yeah, I forgot she's not. I've been playing too much one-on-one D&D. I forgot she's not an NPC. I went to one. Jordan and I were staking out some of those spots around town that we found in those documents. There's a house down in Sleepy Hollow. There seemed to be some sort of auction there. I almost managed to get one of the items away, but I didn't want to reveal myself. But I did some digging and found that they had apparently also been doing some sort of business deal involving 3 names, and this person is apparently one of them.
Well, shoot.
Yeah, the names are the name of this guy is Futz. The other 2, just I think it's worth for you to keep an eye out. Are the other 2 names are Beanie and Scalp. Put that down there? Scalp, yes, Beanie and Scalp.
Is that their entire name?
That's what was written on a board.
Okay. So why was this one offed?
If I'm being completely honest, I have no fucking clue. I'm not gonna lie, Julie, I'm kind of at a loss here. I keep getting leads, but the leads just raise more questions than answers. I know there's some sort of business dealing here, something to do with that religion you're following and magic artifacts, and there's an auction and they're trying to find these names, but I haven't found anything. I need something definitive before I can start putting anything together, and I haven't found that yet. I need someone to talk, and right now, for some reason, people in this city aren't willing to talk about this stuff.
Well, okay. My very first tip-off about the cult was actually a note left at my front door by Lacuna.
That was that older woman who knew you?
Yeah. She wrote that they're making something dangerous, and it needs to be taken care of immediately.
All right. Interesting. We need something concrete. We need a location, a permanent location. I've only found temporary drop points and meeting locations. I haven't found anything permanent. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I've kind of hit an impasse where I can't find these other 2 names, and I can't find. I'm sorry. Look, as much as we played investigator for SWAT, I'm not an actual private investigator. I never got a license or anything. It's not really my specialty.
Do you want to try talking to Amber?
I mean, Julie, I know you're working for PETA now, but like, what exactly are you doing? Like, what is your role and what is Amber's role? Like,
Amber is unemployed and is currently probably in pajamas watching movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's just Amber's just doing stuff. Amber's has nothing to do with this whole thing.
Yeah.
Got it. I mean, we could talk to Amber.
But she
would know if she's not involved in
if you want to talk to somebody who's not bound by PETA.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose she might be someone to talk to. I don't know what she would know.
Well, she could help you if you need someone to back you up.
That's not the problem right now, Julie.
If I need firepower,
maybe she has
I can call
it in. I mean, technically, I'm doing freelance work off the grid for you guys. If I find something that is above my pay grade, I can call you guys in to deal with it. Maybe she does have contacts. I just need a contact. I need a location. I need something because I'm at a loss.
I have a plan.
Okay.
We're going to have a team meeting.
Your what team?
You're going to be on my team.
Julie, I already told you I'm not joining Peter.
You're not. You're joining my team.
Julie, what team?
I won't give you...
Stop playing the pronoun game.
I won't give you classified information or anything, but you'll know my teammates' names, how to reach them, and because you are investigating for this stuff, they'll be able to tell you some of what they know, I imagine.
Okay.
I call my team over.
Okay. You see Alice Wynn is now furiously typing on this laptop. It's just spurting out information to Curtis. You see Greaves is just kind of overseeing it. You see him kind of just scanning the area, looking at angles, that kind of thing. You see Dan and Gus have just been sitting by the car, just shooting the shit. They don't really do a lot of the investigation stuff. They're more of your muscle. And you whistle for them to come over. You see Curtis and Wynn both give you a finger, and they make a couple motions that they're still working. But Greaves, Perez, and Gus come over.
Okay, boys. This is Wes. Wes is a colleague of mine. He isn't currently
former colleague, I guess.
Wes is an acquaintance of mine who I used to work with. He doesn't currently work with PETA. But he has been contacted by some members of our organization and members of the UN because he is quite good at
Yes, Julie, what am I good at? You tell me.
figuring out when there's something that deserves more scrutiny.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's a good, yeah, there you go.
Interesting. Greaves says this. He says, nice.
Let's just say I'm a problem finder, not a problem solver.
Well, if you're just a problem finder, no disrespect to Lieutenant, we have plenty of those. By the way, Greaves, and you see this kind of taller black man give you a firm handshake, and you see also this. You see one other member come over and kind of shake your hand. He says, Perez, and Greaves goes, if you are looking to work as an informant for our organization, we have channels in which to contact you. Are you licensed as a hunter?
He doesn't need to be because he's not using magic.
I'm not.
We were just seeing if we could put you on payroll, but if you're just going to be an informant, we have plenty of those and we could always use more.
Well, he's going to...
Yeah, let's call it.
He's going to be our informant.
Greaves gives you a little bit of a look when you say that.
What is it, Greaves?
Well, no disrespect to Lieutenant, but that's not necessarily how we work. You know this.
If somebody gives us a tip, it's up to us what we do with it.
He winces and he goes, not necessarily, Lieutenant.
We report it?
There's...
I'm not saying we jump out and do whatever, but he can tell us where to look.
Look, my point is, let's put it this way. I'm a private investigator of the non-magical kind, and I have some information about what's going on that I've been sharing with my former colleague, Julie Davenport, who is now involved in an organization that might be able to do something about it. Does that cover?
Look, we're not going to go out guns blazing
here?
to wherever he tells us, but anything he tells us
and that's my
is
point.
worth
I don't
scrutiny.
have a location. I'm just looking for more ears on the ground to help this.
You see Second Lieutenant Greaves shape up and goes, right, understood. Any information you have would be appreciated during this investigative time. Curtis and Wynn are still...
O'Neill, I run them through everything I said.
Yeah, no, I'm letting you know their response to that.
No.
He goes, right, this is useful information. You said Scalp and Beanie?
Yes, those were the names he gave.
Right, we'll report that.
Did they have locations on the map? I don't remember.
You looked at them. You were looking at the map, and then you hid. You weren't able to get specific There were no drawn
Yes, got it.
conclusions. You just saw locations and then you saw the names. We'll get right on this. Thank you, Mr. What was your last name?
Barrett.
Mr. Barrett.
Julie, keep me updated. If you need me to go check anything out, let me know. I'm gonna keep looking. I think there's one or two people I haven't talked to who might know something about this, but I'm not hopeful.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, do you think there's any chance you could get me in to look at the crime scene?
Who's in charge of the crime scene, O'Neill?
Technically speaking, you are at the moment. You're the highest ranking official here at the crime scene.
I mean, like, I could probably get in there, but it's like...
I don't think...
would be much easier if someone told me I was allowed in there.
I want to go through a few more legal channels to see if I can give you a title before we do anything like that.
Sure. Uh-huh. Got it.
I don't want you to be arrested because of something I ask you to do.
All right, whatever. Fine. I'll go about it my way then.
That is what I want you to do. I have eyes inside. I don't have them outside.
Julie, I'm talking specifically about this crime scene right here.
We have people looking at it.
If I could get in there and... Yeah, but your people don't know shit.
Well, tell them what to look for then.
With all due respect, Mr. Barrett.
Sometimes you don't know what you're looking for
With all due respect.
until you see it.
These are highly trained,
Greaves, not now. Greaves. No. Wes has permission to speak to me however he likes.
How much do they know about you, Julie?
They know I was with SWAT.
How much do they know about SWAT? About what we did at SWAT?
I turned to Greaves. What do you know?
Everything we were informed on at that meeting. You know that they were essentially given the rough edges around SWAT. They weren't given any of the historical. They were just given more of the like what the business of SWAT was and how it was organized and how to learn from it and be better, essentially.
Listen, I'm not here to step on any toes. I just was asking an old friend for help, and if I don't want to infringe upon anything that you and the fine people that you associate yourselves with do.
Greaves butts in and goes, I think that's a smart insight. I think you would be smart to follow that thought.
But you're letting stuff fall through the cracks. Your organization is new, young, and the fact that you're not letting anybody from the old guard help without falling in line means things are going missing. Things are falling through the cracks.
From what I've heard of your society and the current predicament we find ourselves in, Mr. Barrett, your society let a lot fall through the cracks, motioning towards the entire world.
It wasn't his society. He was a victim of it, just as much as I was.
Regardless, we have a way of operation. It's tight. There's an order to things. If you would like to become an informant, he kind of puts a hand out for you, Julie. He does a differential hand out. He goes, if you'd like to be an informant, we have channels for that. Otherwise, things begin to fall apart.
I look at Julie and I say, good luck, Julie. I think you fit in quite well here. And I turn back to Greaves and I say, good luck with that stick in your ass. And I leave.
He rolls his eyes at you. Curtis and Wynn finish up. Jesse, they come back to you. They report some of their findings. There was a strange energy code, magic energy code that they found kind of around the spot where the body was. He was executed in a standard fashion as far as that goes. You're given the breakdown. Strange energy spot. Doesn't match any normal magical codes that you guys have processed. As you get back to the base, you relate all the information that Wes gave, and you follow through on some of the leads. Over the next few days, you find out that Scalp was also executed, but they managed to capture, and interrogate Beanie. And through this interrogation, they find a few more leads that lead you to a specific location. And it's found out that they are planning some ritual that will open a gate to allow whatever being they worship into our world, and that needs to be shut down immediately. You are set up and given a briefing for a search and destroy mission. What do you do right after this briefing?
Am I on the team for the search and destroy?
You and about 6 other teams.
Can I go to the people giving the briefing and ask questions?
Yeah, for sure. If you want to do a little Q&A with me, and we'll just, so you'll have information. This will be a little bit of a more broader action, but if there's something you want to do in the meantime, specifically, I guess my question is, do you tell Wes any of this?
Not yet.
Okay.
Well, were the guy who was killed, I imagine that was his body found publicly too?
It was in a warehouse.
So, I mean, I have to imagine there's at least some newspaper article like body found in warehouse.
Yes, for sure. Definitely.
Then I will give him that.
Okay.
Because that's a way to provide for me to tell him, like, I'm aware of this, but
specifically,
but I'm not giving him the classified information about it.
For sure. Specifically, do you make any mention of this search and destroy mission you're going on?
No, I don't.
Okay. After the briefing, you guys begin preparing. It's thought that you have a little bit of time. The way they describe it in the briefing is that they're waiting for a specific date, and it appears that the date they are waiting for to complete the ritual, March 19th. And right now you're in the March 15th area. This ritual is in a guarded place, and there seems like there's a lot of protections around it, but you're getting information, so that way when you go in, it's a single strike, search and destroy, figure it out. It's on the outskirts of Chicago, in one of the suburbs areas where this kind of fortress is being built up. So you don't say anything to Wes?
But I do tell Amber.
Okay.
I tell her I'm about to go on a dangerous mission.
Okay.
And if I don't come back, you need to tell Wes that something's happened to me. I was pursuing the leads he gave me, and we found a location.
Okay.
And do whatever you can to help him.
She shakily nods and goes, Julie, if you need backup, I can come in just as assistance. I haven't been called in for this, so I don't know if it's that dangerous. I don't know how dangerous you're speaking here. She kind of, you see her kind of go into a closet and begin rustling around. She gives you like a couple of potions and things to kind of like protect yourself a little bit better. Standard issue things, beans.
Thank you.
And she goes, seriously, Julie, I don't get hurt out there, okay?
I'm worried that they're trying to summon something from the Outlands.
If that's truly the case, then we'll probably get called in too. But from what you've at least, you describe everything to her?
Yeah, okay. At that point, when she tells me like how big that she thinks it's a big deal, because I was also kind of testing the waters, like how big a deal is this?
Okay. What are you doing, Jesse? What are you doing?
So, yeah, I'm going to tell her.
Oh, you tell her?
I'm telling her.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't look, with the information you've already presented, she doesn't look more phased than she already is. Like, the extra information doesn't do much more. But she goes, well, you have 2 days. I'm assuming you're not going to do it on the night that it's happening. So they can't really do it, at least the way that they're thinking of doing it. If it's dangerous, I'm assuming that you're the first wave that's being sent in to see if you can just dismantle the problem before it becomes a problem. If you guys fail, I guess we'll be the next wave. But, Julie, I'm serious.
Don't they have to use a conduit to open that portal?
Yeah, they do. I'm worried as what that conduit could be.
Because Wes was once used as a conduit to open a portal to the Outlands.
Huh. I vaguely remember that. Interesting. I don't know what conduit they would have necessarily, but listen, as long as you go before their anticipated date, you should be fine. So, I mean, it's going to be dangerous, of course, and she kind of puts a hand on your shoulder. She says, be careful, but I believe in you. And I'm sure I'll get word about this from someone at the United Nations soon. But
okay,
you're not going in alone. Just be safe, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd feel better if I was allowed to have Wes with me, though.
Does he know?
I haven't told him. I'd get in trouble for spreading this information, and he'd get in trouble for knowing it.
That's fair. That's what happens when you put up all this red tape. She sighs and rolls her eyes. All right, well, be safe. Are you going out on patrol tonight?
Yeah, I am. I just stopped by to, I don't know.
All right, well, good luck and text me once they send you out, okay?
Okay.
So, over the next few days, there's more information that kind of trickles down. Julie isn't giving you as much information, so what are you doing? One thing that does come out over the next few days is that Scalp is also found dead in like a warehouse
Okay.
scene.
All right, I'm putting everything I have into finding Beanie.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Ooh, 19.
Interesting. Okay. Roll a d6 for me. This is like world manipulation stuff that you're rolling for.
I shit you not, another one.
That's fine. That's fine.
That doesn't sound
No, it's fine. I mean, it's just, you could have gotten something. This was less on the how bad it could go and more on how
Like
good
to
it could have
bad
gone.
and more
Yeah.
of like,
So
yeah.
it's fine. You find Beanie through the channels that you have worked with. Unfortunately, PETA gets him first. The information that you divulged to PETA,
Damn it.
you weren't able to get to him in time before PETA found him and begins interrogating
I
him.
shouldn't have tried working with those guys.
Jesse doesn't seem to be giving you...
I was hostile because I didn't like them.
That's fire.
Julie.
What are you trying to do during this time?
Shit. So essentially, I found out what. So describe to me what happened. Is
You
I found
found-
them. I got there. Ah, shit. They've already
Essentially,
been
yeah. The night you pull up to, like, you found BB's location. The night you pull up to, it's already, you see PETA vehicles all over the place.
taken. Okay. Then, in which case, there goes my last lead. I'm gonna try and call Julie.
Okay. She doesn't answer at the moment.
Cool. I'm gonna call Amber.
Interesting. Okay.
Do I have Amber's phone number? I don't
I'll
know.
say you do. You've been in contact with Julie and whatnot. You call Amber. It's just like a couple days after all this kind of has gone down. Things have kind of smoothed over a little bit. You call Amber and she goes, "Oh, Wes.
Hey, Amber. You doing all right?
Yeah.
guess-
It's weird that you just called. What's up? What's going on? How are you doing?
I need to find Julie. I was doing some
She's
work
on patrol
and-
right now.
All right. Well, shit. Okay. Look, okay, so here's the deal. I fill her in on what's happening if she doesn't already know.
She goes, "Yeah, I've heard a lot of this from Julie."
From Julie, yeah, I figured. Look, Julie's not contacting me, and that was and PETA just stole my last lead. So if Julie,
Yeah, I heard.
Tell 'em-
They've had Beanie for a couple of days. Do you know? Make a persuasion check, just kind of with your tone and the kind of more. This is more of like a world building persuasion check, but I want to see how well you
14.
do. 14. You can tell that she's hesitant to tell you something, but she continues listening to what you're saying.
look, I was doing some work for Sarah, and this was my last lead. And quite frankly, I don't want to disappoint because I'm hoping to get more work in the future. I just, if you hear anything or say or know anything, just don't hesitate.
They know what's going on. They figured it out. Roll a d6 for me. That's the only way. This is like a lucky thing that you'd have to get.
That's a 6.
Is it another one? Oh,
That's
a
a
6.
six.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on.
interesting.
I'm,
Very
I'm
good.
on that. I'm on that 1-6 grind today.
1-6 grind. Yeah, for sure. She goes, I'm not supposed to tell you this, Weston. You didn't hear it from me. Okay. I don't want to get in trouble with Julie either.
Didn't hear it either.
I
didn't hear from you.
They found out what's going on. The church is planning something on the spring equinox. They're sending PETA strike teams in a day ahead to try to dismantle it. Julie's worried, and I know that's kind of her natural state anyway, but she specifically told me she wishes you could go in with her. If that's any consolation. They're planning on hitting it tomorrow night.
So Pete is hitting it tomorrow night. Do you have a location?
Vaguely. It's kind of... it's farther south of Chicago. It's kind of in the suburbs. It's called Dwight, is like the town area. Super far south, way out. But
somewhere around there, huh?
Apparently they have like an outpost there. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what they plan on doing.
Okay.
But
okay.
It's apparently fortified, and they've been sending out investigations out there.
All right. Thank you, Amber. I really appreciate it.
Again, you didn't hear any of this from me. If you appear there, it's some sort of luck.
Yeah. Don't worry, they won't get it out of me.
What are you doing?
Okay. Now let me ask you this. How long has it been since I tried to contact Cash? Like a week or two, right?
Yeah, it's been about 3 weeks since the first time you tried to contact Cash. Sure. What are you using the phone, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay. It rings for a while. It's pretty late in the evening at this point, but it rings for a while. And eventually someone picks up and goes, hi. Hello? Who is this?
Hi, this is Wes. Kumi, is that you?
Oh, sorry. No, this is Darla. Hi, Wes.
Hi,
how are you doing?
Just fucking with me. I'm good. Is Cash back? I called a couple weeks ago and they said he was gone. I was wondering if he's back yet.
No, he's not. He's been in Tibet for a few weeks. We haven't actually heard from him. We're starting to get a little worried.
All right. Thanks. I'm sorry for calling so late at night. It was just kind of urgent.
No, it's really not a problem. Are you doing okay?
Yeah.
Listen, Wes, you are a friend of Cash. You're part of our family. Okay? So
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Do you need anything? How have you been?
I could use a powerful monk right about now, but I appreciate the offer.
She sighs and goes, yeah, he just got his hunter's license and then dipped out. So I don't know what he's doing.
Got his hunter's license, huh?
Kumi doesn't seem worried, so
right.
I figure once Kumi starts getting worried, we'll start getting worried.
All right. Well, thanks. Thanks anyway.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Yeah. Good night.
Now hang up. Shit. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to put a crew together, if that makes sense.
Sure.
And I feel like everybody.
You have Jordan.
There's not
Jordan is your go-to person.
Yes, I know I have Jordan. I'm just trying to find one or two other. I'm trying to build an adventuring party.
Okay. Who are you reaching out to? Let's go. Let's fucking get it.
I want to reach out to Ziv and Zav. Are they around?
How are you trying to get in contact with them?
Shit, I don't even know. Can I ask Llama? Can I call Llama and see if he knows?
Yeah, sure. You ring up Llama.
Oh, can I also ask Jordan to contact his old team?
Hello.
Hey, Llama.
Wesley, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Listen, I'm sorry I don't have a ton of time. I just had a quick question. I have a few names. I don't quite know how to get in contact with them. I just, I'm trying to call them in for sort of a special project. I was wondering if you knew where Ziv and Zav were, or.
The phone goes a little bit silent for a moment, and he goes,
Unfortunately, they went missing sometime during the insurrection. They were not there during or accounted for afterwards.
All right. It's all right. What about shit, I don't know. TJ? Do you know where TJ gosh, I don't know.
TJ, I believe, is
Arsenio
working
fully
in the
recovered? I need some firepower if you are picking up what I'm putting down.
Understood.
Fuck O'Neill. What was the name of the
Liam?
No, Liam,
Liam.
but also the orc that we worked with, and he's my friend, and I
Blurog?
can't remember his name. Blurog, yeah.
Blurog?
Although I guess Llama
Okay.
wouldn't. I would probably have, would contact me Blurog. I'm trying to put together my own little...
Understood.
Yeah.
Llama goes,
TJ is working in the consulate in Italy. Arsenio is working as a independent hunter, I believe, somewhere in Minnesota. I do not know. I know of this Blurog, but I do not know him personally. I do not have his contact information.
That's fair.
I'm
I
sorry.
could probably get in contact with him. He did some work for SWAT. I thought, I know you're not a computer or anything like
Understood.
that. Thank you. Appreciate it. When I talked to Sarah that one time, did she give off the impression, I can't remember because that was a couple hours ago. Did she give off the impression that she didn't want to, like, the reason she was throwing me this job is she didn't want PETA involved in this? Or was it like, I can't remember how, or was it just like, we need to get this done faster?
You didn't really get that. It was more she heard of your work and she knew of your abilities to make a mess of things and to figure things out kind of the more unorganized way. And she figured,
right,
from what you can put together, maybe it was another front to attack this problem on.
Okay, got it. Okay.
And
So I'm
also
not
she
gonna
had,
contact
I mean, again, when she gave you the information, it wasn't like she knew that the Elder Wand had anything to do with this problem or whatever. She just kind of threw you this thing because you were part of the investigation bureau and you're not doing anything right now, from what she's heard, besides your independent freelance work.
All right. Never mind then.
So
then
what are you
not
reaching
gonna
out to?
contact her. I reach out to all those names, particularly TJ, not Arsenio. He's a hunter. Anyone who's involved with PETA or is a hunter, I'm not contacting.
Okay. TJ is working as a diplomat for the United Nations. He is also licensed, technically.
Sounds boring.
You find that Blorog is also a hunter. He works in Los Angeles. Everyone that was working for SWAT or that kind of higher level thing has either decided to retire to some other job or is licensed with magic.
Okay. Yeah.
Jordan comes back to you. He says that C.K. Walters has been put in a diplomatic position in France. And he got in contact with Taylor Atkinson. Yeah. She is no longer in the country. She has rejoined her order.
Right. So I'm sitting there with Jordan. I've filled him in on what's happening. And I'm like, look, I don't want PETA to get its hands on this stuff. I was hoping we could cut them off, get there before PETA. And potentially...
I mean, if you're trying to stealth this, we could stealth this. I mean, you are the person that stole the Mona Lisa.
Well, that, if you'll remember correctly, that didn't exactly turn out that well in the end. Like, I was just hoping to put together a little bit more firepower than what the two of us have alone.
Yeah, you're right.
Look, Jordan, I want to stop this. This is a bad thing, but if we both go into this, if Julie's worried about getting in there with a full PETA strike force, the two of us, that's bad news, man.
I mean, she goes in head first. We go in the back door, like we've been doing.
That's not a bad idea. What if we wait for them to attack and then get in the back door while they're busy?
I think that could work. Especially with the chaos from what you're telling me, if they're pulling on a full-on assault on this base, it could really mean absolute chaos.
All right, then. Load up, I guess. We gotta get south.
Hello, this is your DM here. DM obviously stands for Dramatic Mime. Yeah, that's right. I got into Juilliard, so the rest of y'all can suck it. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. You might be wondering how we got here. If you like what we do and you like how we do it and you love us and love our channel and love our stuff, hey, go ahead and think about dropping us 5 stars on iTunes, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify as well. You can also tweet about the show using the hashtag YMBW. That's the hashtag symbol YMBW. And if you do any of that stuff, we'll put your name in the show as a character. I have a couple characters coming up, I believe, next episode with Olivia, so keep your ears peeled for that. But yeah, we have a whole bunch of great, amazing, interesting stuff for you. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/1BW podcast, where we have some bonus content and some other tiers for other things that you do if you donate extra level. So we're going to be sticking with the Wednesday releases from now on, just because it, one, helps me with my organization as far as going weekend to actually putting out the content, and also for a few other reasons, which you'll be hearing about next week. But essentially, we have a new slate of podcasts coming to you live from OHP Productions, O'Neill Henry Productions. So we'll have a bunch of new podcasts to announce to you next week, so keep your ears peeled for that. And thanks so much for listening to this episode. If you like what you do, again, tweet about the show using the hashtag YMBW, Instagram about the show YMBW, Facebook about the show YMBW, TikTok YMBW, baby. Anyway, get back into the episode.
All right. You eventually, through Jordan's means and your means, find this encampment. It's about midday right now, and you're just staking it out. Okay. What do you... Go ahead and roll an investigation check for me, first off.
10.
It actually takes you a little bit longer. It's like into the evening now. You didn't really have a lead onto where it is, other than it's in this general area. And eventually you do find this kind of strange base of operations. You begin, like, you walk into like the local corner store, and you begin like hearing some of the conversations as to these weird characters that have built this kind of militia base on the outskirts of the city. City is a strong word, this town. And eventually you find the location. What are you doing?
I am entrances, exits, that you know.
Okay.
You know.
Well, at first, when you eventually drive by this location, when you first pull by this location, it's a simple dirt road that leads onto this place. Yeah, just one simple dirt road that kind of, from what you can tell,
around, and like that's it. Okay, got it.
Yeah, essentially, if you've ever been to the countryside, like just those huge roads that kind of just go into nowhere, and then one of them goes onto this plot of land. I know
exactly what you're talking about. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the car over down the road and say, "All right, we're gonna have to trek it. I don't want to pull the car through there because it will be a little more obvious. We also want to find a way to get out and back to the car. So that's what we're looking for. The easiest path to the base and how to get back here. And we do that. Do some hiking."
Okay. So you guys, are you trekking through the foliage, or are you trekking down this dirt path?
No, through the foliage, through the forest.
Okay. Make a survival check for me.
That's a 7. Jordan I don't get any help from Jordan?
Yeah, go ahead and do it with advantage. Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, it's an 8.
Good. As you begin trekking through this area, you can't really seem to find where you're supposed to go, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
It's an unnatural 20 on the dex save.
Okay. You only take -1 body as an explosion happens at your feet, but you manage to dodge out of the way as this claymore explodes in this area.
Bad. I'm at 1 body right now, by the way, just so you know.
Oh, well, go ahead and you can either choose a hindrance or a penalty. And if you choose a penalty, you go to growth point. If you choose a hindrance...
I haven't gone below 1 body. I'm at 1 body.
When you're at 1 body, you don't go below 1 body. It's 10-1.
Oh, then I fucked
It's
up.
on the rules.
So that means I'm at 2 then, because I went down to 0 before, so I should be 1 higher than I was, because I was coming out of 0.
No, you should be 1 lower than you are. So you should have hit 1 body earlier. If you hit 0, that means that you
subtracted a body that shouldn't have been there. So you'll just reset your body however we decide to reset it. Are you taking a hindrance or a growth point? Hindrance means you take a penalty. Growth point means hindrance means there's something that happens physically. A penalty means that you get the growth point.
Why is a hindrance better? It's because it's temporary.
Yeah, you don't get the penalty right away, and your body resets to 5.
I'll take a hindrance this time.
Okay, choose a hindrance from the hindrance list.
I'm trying to find it.
Oh, sorry, inflictions, not hindrance. Inflictions. Broken bone, bleeding, concussed, burned, or diseased.
Let's call it broken bone.
Okay, what bone did you break?
I mean, isn't that your decision? Like, if I say my pinky finger...
No.
Like,
It's part of the... Well, it has to be a substantial bone, mind you.
Yeah, I mean, I stepped on a bomb. I assume one of my leg bones, or foot, maybe. Broke my... I don't know.
Okay.
Ribs. Maybe ribs. You want to call it ribs from when I flew away? And that'll really put a strain on my lungs. Like,
sure.
I landed and broke ribs. I don't know. Whatever
All
you
right.
want to call it.
If you broke your ribs...
It feels weird for me to
take another -1 body if you broke a rib.
Well,
you gain a point of exhaustion, and you have disadvantage on Constitution checks and saving throws.
I mean, I already had that. Oh wait, no, I had that. Oh fuck, cool.
So it should be at 4 body.
That feels weird that the infliction hurts my body, and that's not just the penalty of.
The infliction hurts your body because you chose ribs. Leg and arm have different things for broken bone.
Okay.
You and Jordan both jump out of the way. You land on your stomach as you come down on this log, and you just feel a sickening crack in your stomach, and you find yourself like it's very hard to breathe. What are you doing?
Oh, fuck. Maybe we should have just gone down the path. Shit, these guys aren't fucking around. Okay, just watch your step from now on.
Should we just... All right.
Look, Jordan, I don't know if it's exactly a good idea to keep going here.
I mean, we have spells. Why are we on foot?
Whatever. Get on Nimbus.
Okay, that would make a little bit more sense, Just saying.
I
Make
don't
a
have
Constitution
travel
check with
spells,
disadvantage.
Okay? I'm not a fucking wizard.
You have polymorph. You could have turned into a bird. What do you
Save
mean?
those spell slots. Constitution what?
Sure.
Saving throw?
Check.
Oh,
With disadvantage.
right. That's a 14.
With disadvantage?
Yeah, I rolled a 14 and a 16.
Yeah, you manage to step on Nimbus, and he begins floating up, and you see Jordan turn into a bird. A raven.
All right.
What are you doing?
I see Jordan turn into a bird, and I'm like, well, yeah, I guess that makes more sense. And I also turn into a bird. Sorry, Nimbus.
Okay, roll 2d10.
What? Oh, right.
Use a reroll.
Yeah, no, I remember. 51.
51. Oh, that's a tasty one if I do remember. Interesting. Okay. As you turn into... What do you turn into?
Owl.
Owl? As you turn into an owl, there's this shimmering in front of you. Gives you a +2 bonus to AC, and I'm using it to magic missile. As you begin flying away, you hear the sounds of like a person like running through the foliage, and they shout out in a language you don't understand. What languages do you speak? You wouldn't understand this.
English, Greek,
I don't think-
Common, Draconic. I have a +2 to Outlander history. Is it an Outlander language?
No. You begin flying. Where are you going? You're going towards the base, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me with your owl's +3.
10.
Okay. You seem like you get to the base unbothered. You look at this base. It's this concrete fortress, about 3 stories tall, has this barbed wire around the top. You see essentially like outposts for gunners on the top, and you hear commotion inside. Make a perception check With the owl, you have advantage.
It's a 22.
22. You listen in and you hear chanting. And you see patrolling this concrete fortress about 4 or 5 guards.
Is it like a big like concrete bunker, or is it like a castle? Like, what does it look like? What is it?
It has a mixture of a castle, like a fortified castle, but also like you definitely notice some
more of
bunker-like
like a
elements to it.
compound, like a military.
Exactly that. And because you rolled a 22, you begin to hear in the far, far distance a set of trucks coming this way. You think that the PETA incursion is coming very soon. What are you doing?
All right, it's showtime. I nod towards Jordan Bird and I swoop down over the from up above over the walls and into the compound, and I want to find like a back door, like somewhere hidden.
I'm not gonna roll. Make a dexterity saving throw.
I mean, it's good. I don't know what a bird. I mean, that's
+1.
19.
19. As you swoop down, a guard that is patrolling spots you because you rolled a 10 on yourself, and begins firing at you, but you managed to dodge it. What are you doing?
I love the idea of a guy going, bird, shooting at it. I mean, I do have a spectral shield next to me, so.
That too. Plus also magic.
Yeah. I swoop down. I want to find like a hidden spot. If there's like a shed or something. My goal is to find somewhere to sit tight until I start hearing gunfire.
You are in their sights right now. There is nowhere you could hide where people would not be able to see, unless you go like back into the foliage.
So there's just this building, is what you're saying. There's nothing else inside the walls other than this building. Got it.
It is just this concrete fortress.
Got it. Yeah, I'm going to fly back into the trees like I'm a spooked owl.
Okay.
And I'm going to be like, oh, I should have waited a little bit longer. I guess they didn't hear the trucks. So that's what I thought. I thought they had heard that.
Yes, they did not.
All right. Then I wait for the actual fighting to start.
Okay. All right. You are beginning to roll out with your crew. You guys have loaded up. The location of this place is kind of really far on the outskirts of the city, like way out into the suburbs, into like the countryside. It's a very, very small town called Dwight, which is like the most centrally located, but it's kind of farther out into like the middle of nowhere. There's this huge fortress, and as you guys approach, you begin your breaching. It begins with a stealth breach at first, but then you guys continue in as the PETA vans begin pulling up to the outskirts of this encampment. A few of your scouts light up some EKGs to dismantle any camera systems that might be set up on this location, and your formation begins to push in. Make a perception check for me.
A natural 20.
A natural 20. You instinctually pull your team back as you notice small mounds that look very familiar from your time out in the field. You notice that there are mines dotted against the landscape of this encampment. They built up this defense somewhat.
Yeah, I spread the word to the other teams.
Okay, you radio it in, and everybody begins dancing around these crewmates. Eventually, fire begins to break out. There's a firefight immediately happening. You manage to take out a couple of the ground-level fighters, orcs, dwarves, elves, a bunch of fae folk, humans as well, all kind of surrounding this area, begin the firefight out. Your team begins to push in quickly. Suddenly you hear pss, 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 and there are snipers you see above you. What are you doing?
Get down.
Okay, you get down, you get yourself prone.
Get cover.
You get cover for your team. What else are you doing?
I guess I'm gonna. What else can I see?
When you
wasn't down.
Yeah, when you were up, you see essentially what is essentially this kind of concrete fortress. The front doors, there's just one door, and then above there's like this barbed wire wrapping above this like encampment, and then you see about 6 personnel up top shooting down, and then around the base of this encampment you see about maybe 20 people guarding the front entrance of this place.
Gus, you've got to get that door down. We're gonna help cover you. we're gonna move in slowly. Your mission, focus on the door.
He gives you a silent nod. He says, need to be closer to blow it open.
Then we're gonna get in closer.
All right, you guys begin pushing down, the firefight happening all around you. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh no.
You should be good at that.
13.
13. One of the explosions happens off to your left. Take -2 body as you guys are thrown over to the side. Gus manages to catch you.
So does that take away my point?
No. Once you hit 10, you reset back to your 8. But go ahead and take +1 mind for the information gathering that you've been doing. Actually, go ahead and take +3 mind. I haven't been giving you enough mind for what you've been doing with your information gathering that you've been doing. You've been getting plenty of mind. So +3 mind.
Oh boy.
Once you hit 10, don't forget it resets back and you get a growth point in that spot. Sergeant Curtis is hit, and he's actually being pulled out of the fight now. He goes down. Something happened with his leg. He's not able to push on. So you see the medic rushing team that has been kind of holding the back line for you guys rush in and take Curtis out. He's gone. But you guys continue pushing on. Eventually, you guys get close enough to the door.
I want to try and use my eyes, if I can.
Okay. Roll a d6 for me. You can. You have full control over him.
Please don't be the laser beams.
Oh, yeah, there is light. You have full control over it, so you can. Go ahead and roll.
Yes! Choose a creature within range and I cast blindness on them. Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Okay.
So what number did you roll? Just for the audience.
It was a 2.
You rolled a 2, yeah. So you begin, like, your eyes kind of do the weird thing. There's not a flash necessarily, but you see, like, the edges kind of pool up. Almost like you're tearing up, but instead of, like, tearing up with tears, you tear up with, like, darkness. And you look at a figure who is kind of shooting, and you, like, focus your eyes on them, and then suddenly they begin just shooting wildly, and then eventually get taken down, and you kind of do this focusing on character to character to character, and you begin kind of turning the tide. You get close enough for Gus to pull out his ginormous gun, and he sets it down and focuses at the door, and this wild, crazy blast out, pushing your whole encampment back as this blast wave comes out from it, and the entire front concrete entrance of this thing is just blasted right open. Debris splurts into it, and you guys continue pushing on. You see the fighting begin to happen. Roll another perception check for me. You see the fighting begin to happen. You see different squads beginning to rush in. You see some getting taken down. You see some taking down others. You see, eventually, you see this giant explosion happen from this one particular source, and you see Julie's team beginning to rush into the concrete fortress. What are you doing?
All right. Explode off of the branch that I'm sitting on with Jordan, and we're going to fly over and try and enter a back door. The point of this being get in, find what we want, and get out before they get past the guards. Does that make sense? Like, they're distracted fighting. We're going to sneak in the back and take everything.
Fighting. That makes sense. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Natural 20.
Beautiful. You dodge the flurry of bullets and infighting that happens. You and Jordan both. Jordan flies off of your tails, and you guys dive into this encampment. And you see essentially more people set up in barricades down this hallway, but you manage to dodge their flurry of bullets. And now you are in what appears to be some sort of temple. And you see about 8 people sitting in a circle. And you see an altar in the middle. You see a humanoid on that altar. And then you see a person with a knife chanting with their hands above their head. Make another perception check as you enter this area.
8.
You don't really notice anything else besides what I described.
All right. Do I recognize the person on the slab? On the altar, I mean?
With an 8, no, you don't.
Cool. Can I re-roll?
You are kind of in the upper rafters.
Can I re-roll that perception?
Oh, if you want to use your wild magic reroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to use your wild magic reroll.
Yeah, I said yeah. 17.
17. You don't recognize the person on the altar. It is this Phaetonian girl, elvish maybe, small, young. What you do notice is that the person above is not holding a knife, but the Elder Wand. All right. As you see
gusts blow the doors open, you see him kind of wince, and you see the front of his gun is glowing red hot and beginning to melt a little bit, and he says, "Damn it, casing melted." You see him kind of crack open, like essentially tear open the gun, and you see a smaller metallic machine on the inside, and he pulls it out and kind of holds it with a stance as though he's using it as a gun, even though it's like smaller than the palm of your hand. And you guys continue going forward. The front door of this thing is blasted open, and you see these different layers of these fighters all beginning to fire out in front of you. What are you doing?
I'm moving forward.
Okay.
My
Are you doing anything in particular, or are you just making sure that you stay out of the way of fire?
Just staying out of the way of fire.
Okay. You see a couple of units behind you chuck a couple of these strange grenades, and they explode out and then kind of fill the space with like a flashing light for a moment. You're not in the range of this flashing light, but a couple of people are kind of dazed and confused and like put their weapons down and just kind of are staring. You guys continue forward. Make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh boy. 8.
You begin trying to push forward, but the fire is too heavy, and you're struck a couple times. Go ahead and take another -2 body.
Okay.
And as you continue pushing forward, you're hit, but you manage to pop that bean that Amber gave you, and you manage to continue pushing forward. And as you continue pushing forward, make a perception check for me as you enter this new space. 14. As you continue the fighting in, and you slowly make progress into this room, this kind of fortress, this encampment turns into a sort of temple almost, and you see intricate pillars lined with emerald and diamonds. You see this kind of well-lit central area, and you see a group of about 8 of these magic people in robes kind of facing out towards you, their backs to this altar. And in the center of this light, you see an altar, a small humanoid on this altar, and this person reaching up with this, what appears to be maybe a dagger of some kind.
Okay, I'm shooting the person with the dagger. I'm like shooting their arm or the dagger.
Okay.
Like,
as you fire out towards this person, there is little rings of force that pop off as though there's some kind of barrier between you and this person.
I'm running.
Recklessly?
A little bit, yeah, because it's a kid, right?
It appears to be. It's a small humanoid.
I am running.
Okay, make a dexterity saving throw for me.
I'm telling the team, like, with me.
Okay.
That's a natural 20.
All right. You only take -1 body as you begin pushing through this
come
encounter.
on.
You have to. You know, this is a reckless move.
I know.
But I will give you your choice of +2 mind or +2 spirit.
I'm going to do the +2 to mind.
Okay. Does that bring you up to 10?
That brings me to 9.
Okay. That means if you get one more, then you get another mind point.
Yeah.
Okay. You begin pushing into this fighting. You now realize why they call him Spitfire Perez, because he just begins blasting these fools.
He's spitting fire.
He actually does spit fire as well. You see him kind of cup his hands and begin blowing this kind of sheet of flame to cover you as you essentially carve a path forward. What are you using to fight through this barrage of fire?
I'm holding the shield of the shield sword.
Okay. And every once in a while, you'll come into combat range and you quickly strike down some of these cult members. You reach this barrier with these 8 figures kind of standing behind this barrier, and they begin hurling these bolts of energy around you. You see Gus beginning to charge up this small gun in his hands now. What are you doing?
Taking cover.
Okay. What are you doing perched up in this area?
I look around and I see what's going on, so I'm going to swoop down and try and knock the Elder Wand out of the guy's. I'm not going to get into a duel with this guy. I just want to knock the Elder Wand out of the guy's hands.
Okay.
And like onto the ground.
As you
my claws.
swoop down very quickly into the trying to swoop down and grab the Elder Wand, you smash into a barrier.
All right. Does that knock me out of?
And you take that knocks you out of your owl form, and you are pushed onto the side. Make a dexterity saving throw for me.
That's 13.
13.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Take -1 body.
Love it, love it, love it, love it.
As when you transform back into an owl, some of the practitioners that are inside of this dome now, there's 8 of them in total, take notice of you and begin hurling these bolts of energy at you. You manage to dodge most of them, but one of them, this kind of acidy spray, coats your back as you roll out of the way. And actually, as you do that, you notice that a flurry of bullets coats this dome, and you see Julie now leading this team of 4 other people beginning to push through and like carving a path. You see one of her members beginning to spit fire, coating these members in this sheet of flame as she continues pushing on. What are you doing?
So I feel like I have like one action here before they notice me, before I'm seen by Julie's team, I think. Right?
Yes, you do, and we will resolve that here in a moment.
Okay, so quicken spell, so I can cast 2 things at once.
Okay.
I'm going to throw a 5th level Dispel Magic at whatever this bubble is.
Okay, go ahead. 5th level. Go ahead and roll a d20 at disadvantage because you are exhausted, and add your charisma modifier.
I shit you fucking not. I rolled a natural 20 and a 19. I will send the pictures. Oh my god.
All right. Yeah.
Also, I'm not done yet, though. I have 2 spells.
Okay. Go ahead and tell me what else you do. You cast the Dispel Magic, and
I thunderstep and grab the wand.
Okay. Julie, you see, as you continue pushing to this location, you're being covered by your allies as you continue marching through, and you see this hooded figure cast this spell at this dome.
I actually look like the Reaper. I think that's important to say.
Yes, actually, that is true. You see a figure that kind of looks like the Reaper cast this spell at the dome, and you see the dome begin to bubble and fizzle away, and then they teleport to this location. Julie, what do you do in this action?
The child.
You are still a little bit too far. You have about 6 of those mages still. 2 of them were taken down after the dome fell down, but 6 of them are still kind of in front of you.
My portal gun.
Shit. Okay. Make a ranged attack.
Oh my goodness gracious. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been.
I don't know. Oh, proficiency plus dex? Okay.
Plus 2.
That's a 14 then.
Plus 2.
Plus 2.
Yeah,
right.
proficiency
Okay.
plus dex plus
16.
2. 16. That is 1 above what you needed. So good thing you had that plus 2.
Oh, thank God.
Because it is technically 3/4 cover because they're kind of blocking this. You shoot your portal at your feet.
I don't, O'Neill, I ignore 3/4 cover. I think.
Shit, that's right. You do have that. That is true. So never mind. You just needed a 10 in that case. You shoot the portal gun at your feet, and then you shoot it on the base of this altar, and you also appear next to this hooded figure, and both of you at the same time. What are you doing? You're going for the kid?
Get the kid.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to go for the wand.
Okay. Wes, make a grapple check.
Oh, I have disadvantage on this.
Julie, you do have a disadvantage on this. Julie, you scoop up the kid. Make a dexterity saving throw for me.
17.
17. You dodge about 3 different blasts of arcane fire, but you still manage to take -1 body. As you get hit as you're covering this child, and you roll out of the way. What did you roll, Tyler?
Back through the portal gun.
13.
Oh, that's a good point. 13. You begin grappling with this figure in this hooded robe. You're not exactly sure who this person is. You see Jordan apparate and begin blasting these blasts of force.
I see it's Jordan.
You do see Jordan on the side.
Shit. I should have told him. I would have told him to cover his face. I'm not a fucking dumbass.
Yeah, O'Neill, give him that. Let him wear a ski mask.
Sure. He's wearing a similar cloaking. He has a thing where he can change his face. You see another shadowed figure now throwing these bolts of energy at these mages, kind of trying to cover for this other hooded figure. You roll back through the portal. What are you doing with this child?
I'm running out.
Okay. You begin bolting out. Do you tell your crew to pull back as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay. you guys begin pulling back as the next wave of SWAT members, not SWAT members, PETA members begin pushing into this thing, trying to clear out the energy. Wes, go ahead and make an intelligence saving throw for me. You don't have disadvantage.
On saving throws, yes. 12.
12. This person who still has control of the wand manages to, while you're like grappling with their wrist, flick it at you. And you feel yourself begin to lose your will. And you kind of sit there for a moment, kind of dumbfounded.
Counterspell.
Go ahead and try. No, go ahead and try. What did you roll?
19.
Unfortunately, you cast your counterspell, but you were still
I want to roll luck.
lose.
Oh my god.
I'm just digging that hole deeper.
Okay,
You're gonna kill us all.
sure can. Go ahead and roll luck. Did you roll the counterspell at disadvantage too? It should have been at disadvantage, but you failed either way.
4. Can I use my +1? It's been a
can.
month since I used it last time. But yeah, I use it now.
Okay. You lose your facilities for a moment, and you're kind of in this weird haze, and something in the back of your mind tingles. And go ahead and make a charisma check for me. Still at disadvantage, mind you.
You know, there's no such thing as a flat charisma check. There's something. Oh, fuck, that's a natural 20. Oh, shit, disadvantage, you're right.
At disadvantage.
At disadvantage, it's a 7.
7. You feel this tingling sensation in the back of your mind, and you can't really grasp what it is, but something kind of forces your mind off of whatever has been kind of holding you right as this guy flicks the wand in a kind of arcing motion directly at you. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
14.
14. Take -3 spirit. You feel
Well, I'm
this
officially below
crushing
spirit now.
feeling. Okay, so you can either take a penalty or a hindrance.
Hang on, I want to look at what the penalties are for spirit. Drawing the ire of a deity of some kind, you have disadvantage on religion checks, and you may be presented with curses or malcontent from followers of said deity. I'm pretty sure that's explicitly what's happening right here.
I feel like you should just take that one.
Okay, take a growth point in spirit, and you get that.
Right? Because, I mean, that makes the most sense, right? Because I'm, like, pissing off whatever they're trying to summon.
Yeah.
For sure. You feel this crushing sensation on your being. You manage to somehow, you're not even sure how you managed to evade that first effect that was on you, but with this one, it hits you and it just gives you a crushing feeling, and you feel something on your inside change, and you're not sure what that is, but you are blasted back, but not before this thing is taken down with several bullets and blasts, and you see his form beginning to crumple. And as you're kind of recovering yourself, you're down on one knee. You see the Elder Wand sitting there on the ground. What are you doing?
I snag it, scatter on me and Jordan outside. Polymorph. We're out of there.
Okay. Roll a d6 for me.
5.
5. Interesting moves. Okay.
Jesse, just so you know, I rolled about 7 1s on d6s in a row up until now, and that's how I have
He's been
3
having
points
some terrible
from
luck.
my rolls have been terrible.
You scatter yourself and Jordan. You see a couple of those mages trying to cast things at you, but you're a little bit quicker than they're ready for, because they're also defending themselves, and they have to make that decision whether to fight for themselves or fight you. You quickly scoop up the wand. You and Jordan teleport out. You feel yourself fold. Go ahead and roll 2d10 for me.
I did use a reroll, didn't I? 86. I think I got that one earlier, actually.
You did get 86 before. As you are beginning to fold yourself into this scatter, you see multiple of you appear out, and you see 2 of them just get taken down by whatever is targeting you at the moment, whether it's PETA or these mages. But you manage to fold yourself into the scatter and teleport yourself onto the outskirts of this.
On myself.
Yeah. I'm reading
Yes,
it.
he casts-
A
mirror image
creature
on
is
itself.
unaffected by the spell if it can't see. And I'm just thinking the thing like, you may change rules, but I can't read.
Yeah. Roll one more d10 as you polymorph yourself to get away. 5. You're fine. You fold yourself into a... What do you turn into?
Owl.
Owl?
Yeah.
You turn
It's
yourself
nighttime
into
now,
an
right?
owl, and you and Jordan... Yes. You and Jordan begin cascading away towards the car, and you make it. Julie, what do you do with this small girl?
I'm running away to the armored
Okay.
vans we came here in.
As you begin running away, you are covered by the other PETA members that begin pushing in to clear out this area. You have this small girl in your shoulder, like hunched over her to protect her from any fire that is coming on. She seems unconscious at the moment, but you make it to your vehicle.
Okay.
And you...
The medic tent, please.
Yes, you take her to the medic tent. She gets checked out, and eventually this encampment is brought to an end. There are a few people that are taken down, and a few people that are... I mean, there's plenty of people that are taken out, and a few are captured for later interrogation, but the mission is seen as a success, although they are not sure what that middle part was. There's still a person of interest somewhere, a cloaked figure, if you will.
Yeah.
This person is definitely being put on your wanted list later. Wes,
Mysterious
you make it
cloaked
back
reaper
home.
figure.
Question, what are they being
You make it.
accused of, though? Because it was attacking
Having some
the person,
involvement in this
but it
plot.
was attacking the one with the wand.
I mean, I did
Could have
take
been a
it.
power grab. Could have
Okay,
been a... Yeah, you took the wand. The wand wasn't,
Okay.
left there. So let's go ahead and resolve this.
I've gained infamy
Yes.
if we're talking in
You have gained infamy. Okay, Tyler, what do you do with the wand?
I immediately lock the cloak and the wand in a safe in the study, and I go take a shower.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna call Julie.
Okay, interesting. How much later do you call Julie? Do you call it the next day? I'm assuming it's very late at this point.
Yeah, not late at night. Not like late at night. Yeah, I call her in the morning afterward.
Okay, cool. Julie, you successfully remove whoever this person is from these captors. There's not a lot of information on who this person is at the moment. They were apparently going to be used as some sort of sacrifice or channel in this being's opening. The place is eventually cleared out. Your target's either destroyed or captured. You are moving back now for a debriefing on the situation. What does Julie feel? How does Julie feel?
I guess the first thing she does is she texts Amber, like,
Okay.
all clear.
Okay. She texts you back with a thumbs up emoji and a heart emoji.
I think just confusion about who or what this child is. Because for this child to have been the conduit, essentially, they have to have immense magical power, which immediately leads Julie to assume this kid is probably a half Outlander. That's at least where her mind jumps.
Interesting.
Well, then she starts wondering, is the Phoenix considered enough power to do this? Like, could someone with the power level of that?
Might drive some of your investigations in the future.
Yeah.
I understand.
Also, I guess confused as to why the Reaper didn't interact with me.
Fair point. And who this Reaper's assistant
But
was,
to,
right?
but to be fair, the Reaper has often ignored me in our encounters and either gone after Wes or Cash. So it's not too surprising. Like, the Reaper just doesn't care about me. And I know that, and I've accepted that.
Yes.
I've come to terms with that fact.
Fair. You are given your debriefing. There were a few casualties. Your Sergeant Curtis, will be out on leave for a few months. He took he kind of messed up his leg pretty bad. With the magic and medicine that's available to you, he won't be out for long, but he will be out for probably a little while. You're given a temp.
He can be but I mean,
tech-
Curtis could work in the just the office. He could be my desk guy.
He's put on medical leave for a
Okay.
little while.
Okay, fine.
He earned it. Alice Wynn,
Yeah.
kind of stepping up in that battle, moves up to his position, Sergeant Curtis's position, and you're given a new first private technical aid.
So is she promoted then to being a sergeant?
Yes, she is. She is promoted to a sergeant. And well, actually, here's how it goes. After your debriefing, General Milo asks you to come into his office to have a special debriefing for your unit.
Yeah, sure.
Just you, though.
Okay.
Okay. As you walk in, he goes, Lieutenant Davenport, if you wouldn't mind, could you have a seat?
Of course.
You sit down, and he begins talking to you. He goes, your second Lieutenant Greaves confided in me that you may have been playing a little fast and loose with our order here.
In what way?
He told me that you took on an informant who was very useful in our inquisition into this target.
Oh, not officially. I have a colleague from my past who has been giving me information. I haven't been giving him anything classified, but I did introduce him to the rest of my team and instructed my friend, should he come upon any information and he finds it prudent for us to know, we are the ones. He doesn't want to be involved in PETA, so I found a way for him to have. I found a way to get information from him without upsetting him.
I understand that, Lieutenant.
But he does not receive any perks or any information. I don't tell him where we're going to be. I don't tell him.
He puts his hands in a slight bridge and he goes, Lieutenant, I understand. You also have to understand that going below the board is simply not how we do things. I understand.
But I have not gone below the board. That would be doing something.
He must be registered as an informant with us, Lieutenant. You can't. Your society, not your society. The society you worked with before was unorganized, unofficial, unruly. We're going to try to do things right. Because when you don't, you get what happened. Two worlds that should have never met meeting.
Sir, you do know that these worlds were originally together, correct?
I do not. I was not informed of this, and I honestly, it doesn't matter.
The separation was the anomaly. The rejoining was a reparation.
Lieutenant, I'm not religious by any means, but I think that these creatures and us have no business being in the same world between you and me, respectfully. We are civilized. They are chaotic. Regardless, having an official informant is simply not work. Now, if you would like to
he's
keep
not an
tabs
unofficial
on this,
official informant. He is a colleague I talk to. That's it.
Lieutenant,
I don't talk to him about work. He just tells me what he's been up to, and then that's it. I don't act on it. I don't look further into it if it's not my jurisdiction. And what he does isn't classified, so.
He pinches the bridge of his nose and he goes, Lieutenant Greaves informed me a little bit more about this Wesley Barrett, how we did a little bit of digging into his file. He has chaotic, magical powers. Listen, I'm not saying he can't be an asset to PETA, but unfortunately, if you are going to have any communications with him, it must be a one-way street. If he wants to bring us information, that is fine. You cannot divulge any information about your meetings, your teams.
That is what has been happening.
That is not what Second Lieutenant Greaves informed me of.
Then he misinformed you. I'm the ranking officer.
I am not going
telling
to
you.
pose your word versus his. What I will say, if you wouldn't mind, keep him at an arm's length. If he divulges information to you that might be useful, that is great. You are not allowed to tell him any information about your team, about the happenings that is going on in PETA, about any of your investigations. Do I make myself clear, Lieutenant?
Of course.
Wes calls Julie in the morning. You get a phone call from Wes.
Hey, Wes.
Hey, Julie, I heard about what happened through the grapevine, that there was some big thing down south.
Down south. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I mean, I had someone tell me, though, that a lot of PETA agents rolled out last night.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
All right, well, just, making sure you're all good,
You weren't involved, were you?
No, of course
Good.
not.
I don't want you getting in trouble.
Look, I was just making sure you were all right.
Yeah, I'm fine.
This whole thing, I'm also still trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Even out of just professional curiosity, I kind of want to know how it ends. Even if I lost the plot, I know you guys got that one person. I guess it had something to do with that one person I tipped you off to, right?
I mean, I just want to know what the connection with those papers you'd shown me before with the Bones family.
Yeah. I mean, those spots can be, maybe I can give you guys some more of the stakeout locations that I found,
That would be helpful.
For sure. Yeah. If you want to come by, I can give you the papers, or I don't know, I guess I can ask Jordan to photocopy them for me.
Wouldn't his magic break the photocopier machine?
No, he's got some different stuff. He's still, I mean, the things don't work super well around him, but it's not like me where everything just kind of explodes.
Okay. Well, yeah, why don't you ask him to send him over then?
Yeah, for sure. If you do hear anything about what happened last night, let me know, right?
I'll see what I can do.
All right. See you around. Click.
Click.
might be wondering how we got here as a part of the Frolic Media Podcast Network. To find more podcasts like these, go to frolic.media/podcasts.